township's needs. They provide in-house service where most only offer out online services now. This vendor, or one that offers similar services, should be offered our IT contract. We'll continue researching for vendors. Yeah, we would continue to get a few more bids, but there is in the contract a 90-day required notice that you have to give the current ones. One thing that really disturbs me about the IT people that we have right now, well, there's a couple. I'll start with the fact that I was under the impression that our Microsoft Outlook, our email and everything was a once a year, that's how we used to pay it, and it was only like $1,100 or something a year. Now they're trying to charge us $3 something a month. That is really disturbing. I know we have more people on it, but, and then also, when something happens, you try to contact them, you usually, sometimes you get them on the phone, that's not the problem, but then it, they can't handle it, whoever you get on the phone, or they fix it for a minute. How it took me during election season, every day for about 2 weeks, I had to call them and say, my Dymo printer isn't working. First thing in the morning, I had to log in and make sure it was working. It wouldn't work until I finally figured out a way around that I could use that I do myself. Like, why can't you get my printer to work? Anyway, so yeah, I have a few issues with them. So my motion would be to give VC3 the 90-day required notice to terminate the current contract.
Second.
You want to call a vote?
Yeah, I didn't know if anybody had discussion. Susan?
Yes.
David?
Yep.
Debbie?
No.
Linda?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Shelby, yes. Kim?
Yes.
Okay. Receive and file PA 116 solar application.
Hang on, so just, when would they start, in a month, or the IT?
They can't
do IT?
be anything.
Well, we would bring it back, we would have to approve it at the board. Yeah, we just need to give
We have to
them,
give
yeah.
90-day notice.
This is just about giving them notice, the current company. And they may come back with something too, I don't know.
I'm sorry, Brian.
Yes, sir. All right, receive and file PA 116 solar application.
Okay, so this was part of the consent judgment with the solar, per the Augusta Township Resolution 23-04 to approve the consent judgment and settlement with Rail Splitter Solar. The township shall approve and authorize the township clerk to execute any Public Act 116 solar panel application for any land in the LSES application to the state of Michigan and/or any agency, department of the state of Michigan within 30 days of the township's receipt of the Public Act 116 solar panel application. As clerk of Augusta Township, I have reviewed, signed, and made available for pickup the two, actually picked them up the other day, the two attached applications. So I would make the following motion, which is a motion to approve and file the two solar panel application farmland development rights agreements, number 81-61721 through -123197 and number 81-0792-123166. Are there any questions on this?
This is part of the judgment, right?
It's part of the judgment, but the PA 116 is filed through the state. It's the farmland development right. So Mr. Schultz property, Robert Schultz, that's who both of them are for his properties.
So the 116 is not part of the
Well-
judgment, so if the judgment was voted, let's just say if it was voted down, it would have no effect on the judgment. I mean, if the 116 was voted down, it would have nothing to do with the judgment.
It's not gonna be voted down.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's already a done
Well, if
deal.
it's already court ordered, why are we voting on it?
It's a
Because I'm gonna
file.
vote no on it,
It's a receive and file.
okay?
So if you just voting
get
no
it
to
over with.
filing it.
That's, all I'm doing is voting no.
Okay, Susan?
Yes.
David? Debbie?
Nope.
Linda?
Yep.
Chris?
Yep.
Chris? Nope. Okay, Shelby, yes. Kim?
Yes.
Okay, approve resolution 2410, budget amendment.
And this is, the final budget amendment, for the, well, will there be one again, maybe? Yeah, this should be it for this fiscal year that ends on March 31st of 2024. And it shows in the attachment, what they did in the amendment. So I would make a motion to approve resolution 24-10 to amend the budget for the fiscal year April 1st, 2023 through March 31st, 2024.
Second.
Susan?
Yes.
David?
Yep.
Debbie?
Yeah.
Linda?
Yeah.
Chris?
Yeah.
Shelby, yes. Kim?
Yes.
All right, moving on, report. James, utility report, what you have?
So I apologize not giving you an actual report, physical copy, actually left it on my desk. So, with the verbal report, we did have a water main break. We had a water main leak over on corner of Talladay and Rawsonville. It was reported about a week prior to that. We went and looked at, we seen no visible running water. We did do some tests on that, those puddles. It did come back, it had some fluoride, and about the same time that we got the test results back, we started to see a leak of that water coming out. We scheduled a contractor out there, dug it up. We found that the inserted valve that we put in May of 2023 must have been pushed down and cracked at the bottom, so a small leak was coming out of there. We ended up cutting that whole section of concrete pipe out, putting in a plastic pipe with a valve attachment to that. So we did have to use a line stop on that because the valve that would not shut off water, so we had to go a little bit farther and do a line stop in that water main on Talladay. Any questions on that? The water, it was repaired and everything, so. Moving forward, we did have a call out on Belmead lift station. We had a VFD that was sporadically faulting. We had a technician come in there and find that there was an internal fault in the VFD, which was repaired, or not repaired, it was acknowledged and reset. So VFD did return back to normal, so everything's good there. Other than that, Alan's been working really hard with Susan and Marcia to get all these endpoints completed. I think we're down to one or two. I think we're down to one.
We were down to one, but we one sprang up, so we got two. But
All right, we're down to two.
one step forward, two steps back. Yeah, it's kind of a moving target, but for us to get down to two,
It's been a long
phenomenal.
journey.
Were these patched or replaced?
What?
The leaks, where you had the leaks at?
The leaks were repaired, like so the one that I'm talking about, the pipe was cut out, the break was cut out, a 10-foot section.
Okay, and a casing was put around it?
Well, we have, not a casing, but we have unions, because we had to go from concrete to plastic.
Okay.
What, when they start on the 5th of the road out here, are we gonna have access to that pump station?
We should, yeah. I
Think
guess.
we will?
I mean,
Better.
No,
I hope so.
No, I mean, in case they block it where we can't get through.
I talked with them all last year, went to 15 different meetings with them. There was no mention of our
Your
pump station.
access to it?
Yeah, it would be.
Oh, well.
hindered. Yeah, I can walk across the construction site just as well as they can, so.
Yeah, no, I mean, you got to drive trucks or
I'll
whatever.
drive it across.
Feedback,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
James, those curb stops that was hit on Talladay Road last week, was there just one or three of them?
There's two.
Two. And was that charged to who's paying for that?
To my knowledge, that was being billed right to the homeowner. Actually, I think we were out there, the excavation crew billed the homeowner directly. So we were on site to oversee it. So those are curb boxes we didn't know about. We talked about a couple months ago, that these kind of things that
It
we
gets a
done.
build up stroke. Anyways, thanks so much.
Wait,
Go ahead.
bring up that we're still pursuing the.
Oh, yeah.
Local thing for the.
So I did, yeah, so for the notifications, that was a thing, last board meeting. I did find a company that does, Code Red. They do this for other municipalities, is put out a text message. Obviously, the residents have to sign up for this so they can get text messages. So whether we can get that set up, still in talks to get a price or something, what it costs to get that set up. But that would basically notify residents that, hey, we got a water main break in your area, this is why, if you lose water, this is what to do. Or, hey, we got maintenance work gonna be done, so expect this or this.
Is it similar to what the school has where people have to join it or whatever?
I'm sure it is, yeah, and, I mean, a lot of people sign up, a lot of people don't, so.
We need that.
All right, well, hey, thanks so much.
Thanks, sir.
So I make a motion to accept the utility supervisor report together.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, clerk, you're up.
So, like James, I left my clerk's report on the printer at the hall. But the election was a great success. We had a great day. We had, we only had 32.49% turnout out of 6,183 registered voters. We had 209 that showed up between AV and in person. And of that, our AV ballots, we sent out 1,414, and we had 1,139. We had 80.55% of AV ballots returned. So, in the proposal for the 7171 Willis Road rezoning will not take effect. The ordinance will just not take effect because that got voted no. Also, I wanted to say thank you to F&V. So Belinda and I were able to attend their, they had kind of an appreciation meet and greet, and that was wonderful, very nice. Got to meet a lot of great people, and it was a good time. Also, the clerks meeting went very well. Post-election clerks meeting, everybody did a great job. Early voting was good. We had, of Augusta Township residents, we had 58 residents, registered voters, that did the early voting. So that, I mean, for a first time out, right? Yeah, so, and Mike and Belinda and I each took a day being the site supervisor where you just were there in case something came up and, you know, made sure everything went well. So that was good. My Ottawa Stony watershed program, we're in the final draft stage. That was, I went to that meeting in person this time, was really good. It was at Calder's farm market. Yeah, I'd never been there. That was really awesome. And we had a few residents that showed up there really concerned with drainage, which is not, they are gonna look into it now because it was brought up, but it's really more about cleaning the existing Stony Ottawa watershed. So that was really interesting. MTA meeting is next month, so the meeting, conference is next month, so the meeting will be on the 30th, I believe, the following Tuesday. We voted that at the last meeting. And I think that's it.
What about warrants?
Oh, yes, I left my sheet in there. So anyone who is running for office in the election, if you could please turn in your paperwork. The deadline is April 21st at 4 p.m. And we have to verify signatures, and it has to be notarized. So I'm just afraid because we don't have that many people that are running so far, and if you don't get your stuff in early, if everybody shows up at the last minute, it has to be to the county by 4. It's a hard deadline. So please, if, try to get it to us early.
What she's saying is, it's not 4 o'clock the day of at her. It's 4 o'clock at the county clerk.
Right,
She's gotta be able to get it to the county clerk.
right. It has to be to the county clerk by 4 o'clock.
Okay, you gonna do warrants? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, and anybody that wants to work the election, we have election inspector applications online. You're welcome to turn those in.
Make it clarified that you can only work it if you're not on the ballot.
right.
That's correct. And also, oh my gosh, the petition forms. If for each of the offices, you can only sign one for an officer. So if you sign one for Brian to run for supervisor, and then you sign one for someone else to run for supervisor, that voids both signatures. For a trustee, you can sign 4, because there's 4 people running for trustee. But for each of the officers, you can only sign one. They have to be on the legal form, petition form. It can't be a printout that's regular paper size. It has to be the 8.5 by 14. What am I forgetting?
Warrants.
Warrants.
You're trying to get me to move on?
Yeah.
All right, so I would make a motion to approve warrants 27132 through 27217.
Second, go ahead. Susan,
Yes.
David,
Yeah.
Debbie,
I'll ask my questions later, yeah.
Linda,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Shelby, yes. Kim.
Yes.
Got it.
All right. All right, I make a motion to accept the clerk's reports given.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Treasurer, Quan, Sue.
So I sent the page summary and investment reports to the board through email. We also, 2 days ago, we finalized our settlement with the county, which is great news. What that means is the county has to sign off on all the money that my office collects through the fiscal year. And the treasurer's office does not just collect money for the township, we also collect money for the schools, the line items that you see on your tax bill. We collect money for the schools, the county, and all the millages. And we have to, by law, through the tax year, we have to distribute those funds approximately every couple of weeks. So at the end of the year, we have to reconcile that we have processed all the money, not only money to the township, but we have to, every entity has to sign off that we collected and we distributed the money exactly as we needed to everyone. So my office collects approximately $11.4 million total. So I just want to give a shout out to my staff, my deputy, the cashier, and Marcia actually assists, to be able to smoothly process this at the end of the year. We have to have clean cash receipting, clean deposits. We have all our issues taken care of, and for us to submit it, I turned over the database to the county, I think on the 2nd of March, and to get our settlement back within a week's time is super, because that means we had all our books in order, we had all our reports matched up, and the county was able to go through and sign us off quickly. So again, I want to say thanks to my staff, because they do that kind of work, so.
Great job.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I make a motion to accept the treasurer's report as given.
What, are you done?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, she's done.
yeah.
I can tell. All in favor? Make a motion to accept the assessor's report as submitted.
Second.
All in favor? Township Hall Committee.
Who seconded the treasurer's report?
I think I did.
Yeah, David did.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Okay,
Township Hall Committee, go ahead.
okay. So this is just a report.
Well, what about the assessor?
We already did it.
I
Who
heard-
seconded it? Okay, sorry, I'm slacking off
Okay.
here.
So, at the last board meeting, we asked for resident volunteers. We now have 3 new resident members. Fran Canada Buchanan, Wayne Dudley, and Deb Owen. Deb Owen. No, maybe not Deb. Trustee Linda Adams has also volunteered to be on our committee, so we now have 3 officers and 3 residents. We had a very productive first meeting together. So in our meeting, we discussed what we heard at the last BOT meeting with the residents' concerns and questions about the cost and funding of this project. We also spoke with our financial consultant. We decided it would be more fiscally responsible to narrow the scope of the project, to use only funds we have available at this time. The renovation of the Township Hall and Office Building addition will be put on hold, and the project will now be focused on building the storage barn, demolition of the old fire station, replacing the weather siren, and parking lot expansion. We now have a modified proposal for $80,000 for the storage barn development. So at this time, I'd like Fran and Wayne, who are here, they're part of our committee, just to say a few words, how they feel about the project, because as we go forward, we have different things assigned, and, they'll be making reports to the board. So, go ahead, Fran.
First of all, I want to say thank you for allowing me to be on the committee and to represent the other, my neighbors. So one of the things was, I was at the meeting like everybody else, and we wanted to make sure that your voice was heard. And the big thing was building a township hall without knowing where the money is, and that was a big sticking point for everybody. So I hope that the committee was able to meet your expectations, and that is now no longer an option at this time, while we seek funding and take the time to go back and look for those grants and those kinds of things. And if anybody has any questions for me, I'll pass it on to my partner here.
I got a question.
Yes, sir. I'm tired of hearing about
So that $200 and some odd thousand that you guys voted on,
that.
all in Boyd?
No,
No?
She just updated that amount to 80, what did you just say?
$80,000. So, Kim will be making a resolution, just carving out 80,000 of that to 40.
So
You're not-
240 is no
Yeah, we're
longer
gonna
needed
use
because.
80 of that.
Yeah, but
so far.
240 was for the whole project,
Okay,
and now
so-
it's just that.
Wouldn't you have to make a motion to rescind
No,
that motion?
no, we do
No,
not.
okay.
No, we already checked into it, we don't have to.
What's that?
I said, we already checked into it, we don't have to do, we do not have to.
We haven't gotten to that part.
Okay, wait a minute, let her,
Just
let her.
report back to you to let you know
Let her finish.
that what you asked for so far has been taken back, and that we'll be moving toward getting you a number just for storage. So now F&B has, no, not yet. Not yet, no, sir. No, the 80,000 is for F&B to do your plans, but
They-
that is what they do next. That has nothing to do with our.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So
So,
they can't until we give you this report and tell you this part.
all
Okay.
right. Yeah. We're good.
Thank you, Fran.
Thank you, Fran.
As Susan has said, my name's Wayne Dudley. I'm new to the township by about 3 years, but I've lived in this general area for all my life. One of the areas that I was requested to address was something that I was familiar with from all my years at Water Department at Ypsilanti. I retired out of there with 30 years, and then I worked for Township for a period of time, and my expertise kind of led towards the siren issue. One of the things in my concern living in the township, and it was discussed amongst the committee, is we are very inadequately covered by our warning system. So this right now, with everything that was talked about with the money that Susan and the committee talked about setting aside to do the studies and all this stuff, is just the one siren that's on top of that building that hopefully will get tore down. through David's invitations, previous board meetings, I did go through the township hall. I went through that building that is recommended to be tore down. It shouldn't be inhabited at all. So, with that said, that siren's gotta come down and be moved. The board does have a report from, who was that from, Susan?
From the county, you mean?
Yeah, it was a county.
Ben.
Yeah, Ben from the Emergency Services Division of the county. And they control all the sirens within Washtenaw County and how that all gets set up and all that thing. But there's only 2 sirens in Augusta Township. So this is something we need as a community, keep this in the back of our minds. There's one at Brick and there's one at the Township Hall. They only reach 1 mile. So this is something that maybe above and beyond we want to be thinking about. But the proposal, but we will probably come back with, this is going to be latest, greatest, bestest, and it will still reach 1 mile because the newer ones, they rotate and they go in the different directions and all that stuff. So like I said, I'm experienced with that working with the township. But hopefully I can lend my expertise to.
So can I ask a quick question?
Yes, ma'am.
So they do, the newer ones, when they will go more than a mile radius?
No, even
Oh,
the new
no.
ones. He
That'd be
is right.
too loud right there.
Yeah, they do have, what was I gonna say?
Repeaters.
The county has, ownership, if you will, of how they're controlled. And they have repeaters, thank you, Fran, repeaters that talk to each one of these towers. They're radio remote controlled. You don't have to have phone lines, you don't have to have a hard wire or anything like that. All you have to do is have power. And then they send a signal to get those up. He did recommend, they have I don't know what I was gonna say, they have a company that they use for countywide to do the repairs and to do the new installations where they choose to put them. And they have a bid from them already. It'll be coming up in future discussions about what the township may or may not wanna do. But, we're trying to get that all gathered ahead of time before it gets presented.
Very good.
Question?
I have a question, sir. How
Hi,
about we
Chris.
just go, hi. Welcome aboard first.
Thank you.
And, but I just wanna know, why can't we use like the Amber Alerts on your cell phone?
Those are federal. I don't know that much about the Amber Alerts, and I would have had the same question, and maybe, the chief left, but that red zone or red alert or whatever that is, I thought the same thing. Why can't something like that be used, the Amber Alert type thing? I don't know the logistics of that. I do know that if you go to Washtenaw County, website, and if you go to Wayne County website and look where those sirens are, those are the experts. I'm not. I've got experience with them, but for whatever reason, whether we can't use the Amber Alert type thing, or we can, or they're still using those, and they're still installing those. Go to those 2 websites, Wayne County, Washtenaw County, and look at the map for the emergency broadcast. There, Ipsy Township, I think, has 40 of them in Ipsy Township, 40 of those sirens. I don't know the logistics of it. That's a good question I can ask.
Yeah, because.
Ben from the emergency management.
From the Federal Weather Authority, if people sign up for them, there's, like a tornado comes down,
Yep,
they'll go off on your cell phone. You
Yeah,
have to sign up with them.
I get the warnings from weather.com on my phone too. You're
Yeah.
right.
I have a weather radio.
Yeah, well, I mean, if there's an option right there, if people are that concerned about it, you could take it upon yourself to sign up.
Mhm.
And, you know, it might cost you $2-3 a,
My weather radio costs me
Weather.
$29.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I can tell you what time it's gonna hit Augusta Township, literally, by
Well,
the minute.
the other thing is, and I didn't bring the paper with me, it's not just weather alerts that those are used for. They do use them for other things. If you have a chemical release in the area, they'll send that off, and then hopefully you know where to go look
Yeah, I
for
mean,
it.
it's just not just, they offer it, but I mean, you know, it's a general alert,
Yeah, general notification, yeah.
yeah.
And you gotta know where to look.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, your Amber Alert or your weather radio.
You can
know,
sign
that
up
kind of
for it
stuff.
and it just costs you, I think it's like $3 a month.
You gotta know what that, resource is for you, yeah,
Mhm.
you do.
All I do
Well,
is
thank
plug
you
mine
very
in, I don't
much.
pay nothing.
Alright.
All right, thank you.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir. Welcome aboard.
All right,
Okay, so wait, Linda is gonna add one more thing.
one.
Okay. One thing that we talked about in the committee was applying for the 2025 appropriations funds to Senator Gary Peters. That was submitted on the 19th. We do have support, and they are sending letters of support from Reggie Miller, Debbie Dingle, Justin Hodge, Jeff Irwin. If anyone else is interested in writing out a letter of support, get a hold of one of the committee members. They can give you the information to get those letters sent in, supporting the project. Anything more you want to add to that one?
Well, I guess, you know, we all are gonna write support to
Oh, yeah.
the whole committee, so we're sending in our letters as well. And, you know, if you wanna do that, we can help you, you know. So that's it, that's the end of our report.
Okay, I make a motion to accept the Township Hall Committee as submitted.
You got a request?
Second.
All in favor? Sorry. Oh. Excuse me. Okay, moving on, farmland preservation.
So that meeting was canceled.
Excuse me, okay.
Report.
Planning Commission, David, you're up.
On March 20th, we finally met after, 4 or 5 months absence. Anyway, March 20th, 6:34 PM, we met. There's 4 of us. We welcomed 3 new commissioners. We discussed renewable energy. And one of the things on that we discussed is we have no ordinances for windmills or solar battery storage. And that's something that we need to work on. And our planner, Carlisle Workman, feel it's time for what the hell? Our planner, Carlisle Workman, feel it's time for a township zoning audit on agricultural land. Now, before social media gets carried away on this, it's just an audit. There's nothing really gonna be changed, as far as I know. It's just an audit. And our June 19th meeting has been changed to June 12th. And the election of officers, we postponed till April. And we adjourned at 7:30 PM.
Okay, I make a motion to accept the Planning Commission meeting, report is given.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Linda, you're up.
Urban County, there's not really a whole lot, it was kind of a short meeting that day. The plan had always been talked about, using the money for bathrooms, but we don't have that project really available. Our township is a little unique compared to other ones, that our income medium is higher than most of them, so we don't really qualify for a lot of things using the CDBG